Welcome. You're listening to the Do Video Podcast. Today is Monday, January 11th, 2021, and it's Clean Off Your Desk Day. Now, embrace your host, Zoe Wood, the video confidence coach.
G'day crew, it's Zoe the Video Confidence Coach here, helping you on your personal development journey. Still working on that tagline. If you ever come up with one for me, please let me know. So today we're going to be talking about done is better than perfect, and that mentality and how long it's taken me to get there for myself. But essentially, why are you doing anything for your future self was the tagline that I have in front of me. And I think the reason why I have that is, why does things need to be perfect for them to be shown to the world? Why, for myself, why do things need to look and be absolutely perfect for me to be able to show them to you? And a good example of that is this podcast. There are so many things wrong with it that I'm unhappy with. Like, my color is way off, the sound is and I'm doing my best to be able to have that goal of having 3 episodes a week for the entirety of 2021. And that can seem like an ambitious goal, and I'm going to get into the reasons why that is going to be achievable. But there are plenty of reasons why I've always had this problem, or this needing to do this and set this goal for myself, and I'm going to discuss with you with that today. You're listening to the Do Video Podcast. So the first thing I want to get for you today is, first of all, I just want to praise someone on the internet that I have followed for a few years, that I absolutely love, called Evelyn From The Internets. She is like the mystic guru that all people need, who just resides on the internet and, does everything that I need another person to do. And she has like a weekly, as of 2020, she has weekly episodes where she talks about to camera how she's feeling, what she's feeling about, and all that good stuff. But in the future, she's going to be working on web series and all that type of content as she progresses forward. But the reason why I'm mentioning Evelyn of the Internets is there's a few things that she's mentioned in a couple of her videos at the end of 2020 that I just wanted to grab a couple of bites that are really useful to me, and hopefully will be useful to you in your journey to grow and build your personal brand. The one line that I've always really loved from her is relentless belief in oneself despite evidence to the contrary. And that's how I've felt, and that's how I want to feel, is relentless belief in oneself despite evidence to the contrary. Believing that I can do this, that I can push this, that I can create 3 episodes of podcasts a week, that 2 videos a week, and be able to deliver them to you, despite my past, despite my inability to get stuff out consistently and efficiently in the past, despite the evidence to the contrary. And the reason that it relates heavily to me is because that has happened a lot. Where no matter how much I feel I want to achieve something and I have a goal, and it's usually not just the start of the year, it can just be any time of the year, and I have a goal and I want to achieve it, and then something happens and I don't. My body fails and it doesn't. My mind fails and it doesn't happen. And there's just this constant feeling of pushing upwards and punching up and just trying to achieve it, and realizing, no, I don't achieve it. And that's what I'm going to be going on to in this next point. Do Video Podcast. The point that I have is one thing that really stuck with me of what Evelyn said was not to be afraid to be seen trying. And that's something that when I was younger, and I imagine all of us did when we were younger, when we were, even babies and toddlers, is when you were seen trying to walk and you would fall down on your butt, just get up and do it again. And as we get older, we, develop all these lovely issues and feel like, no, we can't be seen trying. We need to, and I quote, we need to strive in private and then have a Beyonce drop moment, as Evelyn said. And that's something that really resonated with me and really felt like, oh, that is so true. That striving in private and then having a big Beyonce drop moment is not feasible. And very much like what Roberto Blake is touting and always keeps saying, who is someone that I definitely recommend that you follow. He does keep saying that the first 100 videos are going to be crap. The first, 100 videos that you ever do are always going to be terrible. And my plan is that for this year to be able to create over 100 episodes of a podcast, hopefully will mean that my setup will look will look a lot better than it does, and will continue to grow to a level that I'm happy with. But for now, I just need to not be afraid to be seen trying. Like right now, if you are watching the podcast on the Do Video Podcast YouTube channel, subtle plug, you'll see that I'm looking down at my notes constantly. That I'm talking to you guys and trying to continue a nice level of continuality while looking at my notes. And that's usually something that I hate doing. But because of these ideas that I have and these things that I'm quoting, I need to be able to do this. And that's what I want to do. And I'm just going to remind myself, done is better than perfect. Being able to give you guys these nuggets of wisdom. And again, wisdom can be quite rich coming from someone who's 26. But I have spent over 11 years studying video, studying business, studying, social media, studying these different aspects of what I want to be able to do. I've always had a passion for video, for film, to, go in and film things, because not just to be able to review them back later in the future, but to be able to reach people from around the world that I have possibly never met, that I will possibly never will meet, but to be able to have that in my thoughts of being able to help people that I will never meet in my entire life, but I'll be able to serve and to be able to reach and hopefully get you guys to another better level of your personal branding is something that I want to achieve, something that I want to do. And then something that Evelyn did mention was, quote, refuse to go for the friggin' gold. And that's something that, again, I feel like I'm repeating myself this episode, is it definitely resonated with me. That feeling of, I refuse to go for the friggin' gold because I'm afraid to be seen trying. I'm afraid to fail in front of everyone and everything. I feel like I'm just afraid to fall over on my face. Obviously, when I was younger, I didn't. Through primary school and even high school, I didn't. When I was in TAFE, I definitely didn't. Like, even if I failed, I'm still learning, I'm still growing. And that's something that just deep down inside me keeps happening. And that's something when I talk to potential clients, or when I talk to people on the street, when they, when I go to networking events. Hopefully we'll be able to go to them again in 2021. I went to these events and I'd say, I'm the video confidence coach. And without a doubt, there'd be like 3 responses. First would be, I could never get in front of the camera. And 2 would be something along the lines of, can you help me with this technical issue with either my phone, my camera, or what have you? Or 3, we've tried BEYONCE, it didn't work. And that would be those are the 3 responses. There'd be a couple of outliers here and there, but those would be the 3 general responses that I would get. And just putting the last 2 aside, the first one would be, I can never get in front of the camera. You have, and especially during 2020, when the whole world fell apart, you probably definitely did get in front of the camera to help people, to, reach out to your clients, to reach out to your customers, to reach out to your employees, to reach out to your managers. No matter what happened, as we're all in our homes, trying to protect the world from itself, being able to use video to be able to get in front of a camera and speak was what was needed, and is going to be definitely needed as we go forward, even though we're still in a pandemic, and no matter what people feel or say, we are still here. So getting in front of the camera is no longer this would be a good idea, it could possibly happen. It's a necessity now. To be able to do your work, to be able to reach people, to be able to help people, to be able to do your job, no matter what that job is, you need to get in front of the camera. So don't refuse to go for the frickin' gold. sponsored spot. And the sponsor of this week's episode, well, it's not week, I do it 3 times a week, of this episode is me. So if you've enjoyed the podcast so far and you've enjoyed my ramblings and everything that's happened so far, make sure that you subscribe to our podcast, either wherever you're listening to it now, or feel free to just subscribe on your podcaster of choice. We have 3 episodes a week, hopefully a little bit more insightful than this one, but whatever's your cup of tea, I guess. You're listening to the Do Video Podcast. And the last point that I want to make is, if I want to be able to, go for the frickin' gold, if I want to be relentless belief in myself, despite the evidence to the contrary, I need to be able to practice what I preach. I need to be able to continually practice my craft, to be able to show you guys that it's not detriment to get in front of the camera. It's not scary to get in front of the camera. It's not painful to get in front of the camera. It's okay to try. It's okay to fail in front of the camera, like I do and have done multiple times, even in this very podcast. In many videos, as I keep going forward, I'm always going to be failing. I'm always going to be trying, and I'm always going to be failing. And as I do things and I set goals for myself and I work my hardest to achieve them, that is going to happen. But my goal here is to strive and to help you and to show you that it's okay to try. So I'm going to ask you that you give me permission to try. That this may not be the most polished of podcasts, either audibly or visually or however you like, but my point still stands. That it's okay to try. So it's okay to get new things, and it's okay to look for people to follow on with, to learn from others, to try your best to make the evidence of the past, to see that things change over time and to be able to make sure that, yes, I can actually achieve this, and do your best. And that is what I'm going to try and do for the rest of the year. Before we end the podcast, I would like to acknowledge and pay respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians and owners of the land on which I produce this podcast. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people continue to face discrimination and disadvantage due to our country's colonial past. I stand with them in their fight against injustice. The Do Video Podcast and Video Confidence Coach exist purely for educational purposes, and all information provided is of a general nature and should not be solely relied upon to make a branding decision. That's why you get me to consult with you directly. Wink, wink. My email is pod@vcc.training if you're interested. I ask, if you like the show, to subscribe and give me 5 shining stars on your review on your podcaster of choice. And join the Video Confidence crew by following me on my socials. Links in the show notes below. TLDW, too long didn't watch. It's okay to try. And building a personal brand means not being afraid to be seen trying. But also, that could work for, any other point in life that works as well too. Oh, and also, last thing, watch Evelyn from The Internets. Backlog, all of her videos are beautiful, always fun to watch, both entertaining and insightful. Highly recommend. What's next? If you've enjoyed this podcast, I highly recommend checking out our episode on thedovideopodcast.com. Check out Enthusiastic Restlessness, or whatever I've decided to title that episode. There's going to be a good chance that the title of the episodes are going to change definitely over time, help with SEO and all that good stuff. But the point is that I am done is better than perfect. Getting it out there, helping you, making sure that you can see and hear me, it's all good. As long as it is out to that, as long it is out there to you, it is helping you, and you are hopefully striving from the information and wisdom that I can give you. That's all that matters. All right. I'm finished here with today's podcast episode. Make sure you check out our, social medias, our website. Make sure you check out the Do Video podcast and subscribe on any of your podcast catchers of choice. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.